Hello everyone, this is Afsana, your subject faculty for business research methods. So today we are going to see the topic called tabulation of data. So in your fourth unit you have a first topic, tabulation of data. So last session we have seen the questionnaire and you have also prepared questionnaire with different question types, right? So before going to start, I'll just give you a brief about tabulation. Tabulation is a process of storing the data in the form of rows and columns. You have table, in that you have rows and columns, right? Rows and columns which will contain the data is nothing but tabulation. Here is a definition of tabulation. Tabulation is a process in between the collection of data in any forms and the obtaining the results from it. When you're creating a data, you have it is a process to collect the results out of the tabulation. There are objectives of tabulation: to facilitate presentation, uh, economy. It is very easy to present, it is very much simple, and consistency, and it is having different natures of data. You can also classify the natures of data, and the last one is you will be able to compare, facilitates comparison. You'll be able to compare from one to another option. So there are advantages of tabulation. Simplification. It is very much easy, simple, and it saves your time and space. You'll be able to compare from one data to another. Means from women, how many women in which age group. So you can understand from two different concepts. And then it is very much helpful in analysis, and you'll be able to measure, and you can present the data as if you want. And the next one is high level of accuracy. You will be able to get the accurate result if you're doing in the form of tabulation. It is one of the method under the statistical tools to maintain and get the outcome or the results of the data. Okay, so tabulation work in a systematic way. So you will have certain formulas to calculate, you'll have to code the data. It is also possible to detect the errors and the faults in the tabulation. So there are disadvantages here. Tabulation contains only data, not the description. Means what, how many female are there in your research, how many responses, how many female responses are there in your research, that can be segregated, right? But why only so much, or how many out of how many responses you got, that 15 or 20 female, that description will not be given. Okay, then it is not easy to understand by the common man. If the data is given, for example here, if the data is given here, say example, this is the table. So here we have an Excel sheet which is having a table. In this table you have something, a title, and then the different questions. These are the answers which you got in the form of numbers, in the form of count and the percentage. How much is the data collected, total data collected, 110. So if I, without explanation, if you see this, you will not understand what it is. So the layman will not be able to understand. Only with the help of tabulation you need to give the description. If you give description, only then people will understand, or a common man will be able to understand what is there in the table. Okay, next is it, there are few main parts of tables. Okay, one is a title, second is a caption, and the third one is a ruling and space, and the fourth one here is the arrangements of item, and then the fifth one is footnote. In footnote you will be able to describe what exactly the data is, and from where you got is the source of data. Okay, I'll just show you an example in one of the article how the table looks like. Actually, this is one of my publications which I published in international journal. Here I'll just show you the example of tabulation when the table is done. Yes, here is the table. So when the tabulation is done, you can see here the table 1, title of the table, table 1, title of the table, right? So caption, what is that table is describing on, right? And then ruling and spacing, giving that particular table proper spacing and the proper ruling means exact rows and columns. You will have a proper space on that, right? Spacing is proper, appropriate, right? So you can see there is one main heading and below you have two headings, rank of a sector. Even here also you can see overall level of technology adopted. In that you have 4 divisions. Okay, that becomes your arrangement of item. Okay, and you also should have the footnote. Okay, footnote in a sense you have to mention the no you go where you have a best example. If I set one hypothesis and then I have a table title, then the caption, what exactly that table is going to describe you on, and you have so you have captions and structs where you will have to once again, yeah, so you have a table, right? So each and every content will be arranged. So you will have a note, and then you can also mention here as source. If you have collected from primary data, you have to mention primary data. So after doing the tabulation, only you will be able to do the analysis part. So there are different types of tables. Here we have on basis of objectives. If you are doing a specific or general, how you're going to make it. Okay, so when the table is like this, how specific you're going to mention. Here you have some examples. Okay, so gender specific, age specific, or qualification, streaming, or the parent occupation. So what exactly you're going to do, how specific, what specifically you're going to mention. Or in general, how general you have to make. In general you have something called okay, so like that whatever information you got, only the count you are updating here. Okay, and then on the basis of original table and derivative table. Original table, this is the original table which you got from the Google form, and now you're going to make it different basis based on different parameters, on basis of gender, on basis of qualification. Okay, that becomes your derivatives. Or you can also make the table in the form of regression. So this is actually a table which is explaining on the certain parameters. By doing the analysis, this gives you the hypothetical test. So this will also become a derivative table. So next we have another type, that is simple table and complex table. Simple table is the one which I showed, age, gender, right? So that becomes your simple table. And when I say complex table becomes your this regression. So where you will be able to understand only if you know what is regression, right? That becomes your complex tables. There you have two-way table, three-way table, and manifold tables, where you have different forms which can explain you with your chart, or only with this explanation, only with this responses and percentage. Okay, so there are few methods of there are only two methods of tabulation, that is modes of tabulation. One, by hand, you are going to write it, okay, and the mechanical, so you will be able to make it in the table form. Okay, then mechanical tabulation, where you have to make the coding. First, what is the process of mechanical tabulation? First, you need to from the table you need to convert that to coding. So you give male as 1, see here I have given 1, and female as 2. First option of age group becomes your 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, qualification, your option becomes your 1, 2, 3. So that I will make it as here. So when I give short table, I will be able to filter only A. So how many male means what? 1, right? How many male? I can easily find out by doing this only male. When I choose only male, how many count are there? In this we have 54 counts. So out of 110 you have 54 counts. So I'm going to do this coding first. Okay, after the coding you have transcription of code on the cards. So you're going to mention the transcription. Here is this gender, 1 is male, 2 is female. That becomes your transcription. Third one is verification. I just short it and find out how many numbers in male and how many female. You are verifying that, and I then I did the shorting. I filtered it out, right? So that becomes your shorting. I can make it male, female separate and then short it. And then last one is tabulation. Tabulation becomes my next part, where I'll be able to make this particular format or this particular format. That becomes my tabulation. Okay, how many response, what is the percentage, what is the total, where is the source, everything, whatever I mentioned here, this part, all these should be mentioned in the table. That becomes your tabulation. Okay, so now in the next video I will explain you how to do the tabulation for your research. Okay, so please do watch the next before you do your tabulation. Thank you.